Hello dear students, I am Debashri Sahu from DePaul School Berhampur. We are studying in physics the chapter force for class 10 students. Already we have seen in the past two videos about what is force, what are the various different types of forces, the examples of different types of force. Also we have studied about the turning effect of force, in which we studied about what is torque. In this video we are going to view the continuation part of the first unit of the chapter force. So it is very important to know that before you do anything in physics, you need to understand the concept first. So it is very important to understand it practically in your day-to-day life, how we are applying these concepts. So already in the previous videos, we have already covered the topics like force, translational and rotational motions. In the last video, I told about what is clockwise and anti-clockwise movement, examples of turning effects of force. We are going to study in this particular video. We will also study about couple, equilibrium of bodies, kinds of equilibrium, conditions of equilibrium, principles of movement. All these things we have already covered. So it is very important to note that whenever we are using, as I said, whatever we studied about torque in the previous video, we are going to see the practical application of it. So already, to recap or to understand the video, we have to first do a quick recap. I told you about rotatory and translatory motion. In the turning effect of force, we are basically dealing with the rotatory motion, in which I said that when a body is fixed at a particular position and we apply a force at one end of the body, then the body starts rotating about its axis. In translatory motion, a body is free to move and I apply force to it, then it starts moving in a straight line. So this is the basic concept that we studied. In the turning effect of force, we studied that how when we apply force to a fixed body, then it causes a turning effect in it. That means whenever we are applying force at one end in a body which can undergo rotation about a fixed axis, for example in case of a merry-go-round or in case of a hand spanner, then we observe that when we apply force at the end of the particular object, then it is easier for us to move it. That means it is producing a torque or turning effect in that particular body. Also, we discussed about this example in which I told you that it is easier to open a door when we apply force at the handle rather than at the hinge, because the distance from the axis of rotation is very high. So I said that the factors on which the torque depends are: one is the distance from the axis of rotation to the point of the force applied, and also the second part that we discussed is the amount of force that we are applying. It is directly proportional in both the cases. That means if I apply more force and the distance is more, then only the torque will be more. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about the practical applications of movement of force in our day-to-day life. It is very important to analyze the things whenever we are studying physics. So, in your day-to-day life, in many aspects, you are dealing with torque, but you may not be aware of it. For example, when you are going or and playing in a merry-go-round, or whenever you are observing an object which you are able to rotate, then in that case, we are applying the principle of moments. Let us see this example in which a lady is using a hand floor grinder. You all know that the hand floor grinder is always provided with a handle near its rim, nor at its sensor. The reason behind that is, if we use a handle at the rim, then the moment arm increases. That means the distance from the point of axis of rotation increases. So by applying a small force, I can produce a larger turning effect. So it will be easier for the lady to rotate by applying a small force if the handle is at the edge. In the same case as in case of a spanner, whenever I want to open a nut in case of your cycles or in case of your objects where there is a nut, then what we are using, we are applying force at a end, and usually these handles are very long. This is because if I increase the length of the spanner, then the moment arm, what is moment arm? As I said, it is the distance from the point of application of force to the axis of rotation. It gets increased, so even if I apply a small amount of force, then the turning effect will be more. Another one is in case of your steering wheels. Those who have seen a driver driving a steering wheel, you must have observed that the force applied at the edges of the steering wheel, that means at the corner of the steering wheels, as a result of which what you are observing, that the moment of force or torque, it is producing a clockwise rotation or an anti-clockwise rotation, as a result of which we are seeing that two equal and opposite forces are being applied at the two ends. Now this is also an example of your couple. Now, turning of a toothed wheel of a bicycle is another example where you are seeing that when I apply a small force to the foot pedal, then what happens? It produces an anti-clockwise motion. To turn this wheel of the bicycle, a small force is applied on the foot pedal of the toothed wheel, which is lesser than the force applied to the chain to move the bicycle. This you are using in your day-to-day life, but you are not aware that you are using this. So it is very important to know that torque or moment of force has a very good real life application, and we need to understand that if we want to make a practical application of it, then we need to understand it basically how it works on various different types of objects. As you can see in this one, also when you are putting having a long handle, then the person is able to open the particular thing, and this will be easier for him to lift the particular object. Also a nut can be opened by using a long spanner, so momentum increases, as a result of which turning effect also increases. Now let us come to the principle of moments. What is principle of moments? You all know that if a body is under the action of a number of coplanar forces means the forces which are acting on the same plane, then it is in rotational equilibrium. That means it has a equilibrium position. Then the algebraic sum of the moments of all the forces about a given axis is 0. That means if I am applying more than one different type of forces on an object and the object is in equilibrium, then the algebraic sum, if I calculate the moment of all the forces which I have applied about that particular given axis, then it will be 0. That means clockwise moment will be equal to anti-clockwise moment, and this is, if I sum it up, then it will be coming to 0. For example, in this case, when I saw in a seesaw two boys sitting on two different places on the opposite end, then the clockwise moment produced by one boy will be equal to the sum of the anti-clockwise moment of the other boy. So in a common balance, if for example in your day-to-day life physical balance, we can verify the principle of moments. In a common balance, we can apply this principle. We are suspending a meter rule, and then we are having two spring balances which we are placing at two different distance. Let us say OA is equal to D1 and OB is equal to D2, and W1 into D1 will be the moment produced by W1, and W2 into D2 will be the moment produced by D2. Now in equilibrium, when the scale is in horizontal position, horizontal means it is not moving either downward or upward, that means it is in an equilibrium position, then what do you observe? The sum of the clockwise moment will be equal to the sum of the anti-clockwise moment. As we saw in the picture, anti-clockwise moment is equal to W2 into D2 and clockwise moment is equal to W1 into D1. So according to the law of principle of moments, W1 into D1 is equal to W2 into D2. This we are using in our numericals, where we are using or calculating the unknown out of the 4. For example, in a numericals, you can use this and find out any weight which you are suspending in a particular object. Coming to the equilibrium of the bodies, you all know that when a large number of external forces are acting on a body, then and when they do not produce any change in the state of rest or of uniform motion, then they can be either in static equilibrium or dynamic equilibrium. What is static equilibrium? When the body remains in the state of rest even under the influence of an external force. That means I am applying force and the body is not moving, it is remaining stable. I call it as static equilibrium. And if it is moving, then I call it as dynamic equilibrium. Now what are the conditions for equilibrium? The resultant of all the forces acting on the body should be equal to 0. That means the forces, if I am applying more than one amount of force, then it should be, the total will be equal to 0. The resultant of all the forces acting on the body about the point of rotation should be 0. That means according to the principle of moments, in equilibrium the algebraic sum of the clockwise moment is equal to the algebraic sum of the anti-clockwise moment. Now this is an example of static equilibrium. For example, I keep a book on a table. Then the weight of the body is acting downwards and the reaction force is acting upwards, as a result of which the body is not in motion. That means the book is stable on the table, it is not moving at all. Now we are going to use this concept of the principle of moments and the numericals, where we will be giving you, in case of a meter rule, when we are suspending different weights, then what happens to the weights and how we can find an unknown. Similarly, in case of a beam balance also, which is in static equilibrium, no motion, you must have seen that the forces applied, that means if I keep equal weights on both the sides, then it will be in the stable position. That means it will be in the horizontal position. So this is also an example of your static equilibrium. Now coming to the example of dynamic equilibrium, let us say I will take a car which is moving in motion. It is moving with a constant speed. Then the weight of the car is acting downwards, whereas the reaction force to the car is acting upwards. So a car in motion will be considered is in the state of dynamic equilibrium. Let us consider our Earth, which is moving in its own around the sun in its orbit. Then what do you observe? That Earth is in the state of dynamic equilibrium. So static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium are two important concepts which you need to understand so that we can understand couple. Now what is couple? As you can see that when we are applying more than one different forces, then these two equal and opposite forces which are parallel forces and having line of action which is not same. You can see if I am taking F at A and F at B, both are having different line of action. Both of them are having equal magnitude. Their direction is opposite. Then what happens in this case? This produces a rotational effect. So two equal opposite and parallel forces whose line of action are not same and they are acting on a body, they are forming a couple. That means both the forces are same. That means they are equal. The direction is opposite. They are parallel to each other and they are forming a couple. And what they are producing? They are producing a rotational effect on the body. This you are using in your day-to-day life. Let us say when you are opening the cap of a bottle, then you are using two fingers and both the fingers are now moving in opposite direction. What is the unit of couple? The SI unit of couple is Newton meter, because it is if I calculate couple, then it is equal to force into couple arm. Couple arm is the distance AB between the two forces where I am applying. In CGS system it will be dyne centimeter, and if I take gravitational unit it will be gram force into centimeter. So two equal and opposite parallel forces whose lines of action are not same is forming a couple. And the how to calculate couple? Couple will be equal to force into couple arm. Now examples of couple actions in our everyday life. Whenever you are opening a tap, turning the water tap open, then you are using two fingers at two opposite ends of the tap, and then what you are observing, you are moving them in two different direction, opposite direction. As a result of which what happens, two equal forces are able to move the tap and we are opening it. In the same case, whenever you are turning the key in a lock, then what you are doing, you are holding the key in two fingers, thumb and the forefinger, and you are opening it. Opening the cap of a bottle, when we are opening the cap of a bottle, the same thing, the forces that we are applying through our two fingers, the thumb and the forefinger, are in the opposite direction. Let us consider a steering wheel. When you are moving the steering wheel, then what we are doing, one side is going up and the other side is coming down. So these two equal and opposite forces are forming a couple. In your screwdriver, when you are applying using something, a screwdriver, to open something, then what you are doing, then you are moving the screwdriver, holding it at two ends. Now let us discuss some numericals on the basis of what we have studied. The perpendicular distance between the point of application of force and fulcrum is taken as 1.5 meter. When a force of 70 Newton acts on it, calculate the moment of force. So how you are going to calculate the moment of force? Here we are going to use the formula for moment of force, tau, which is equal to F into D. And you know that force applied is 70 Newton and distance moment arm is 1.5 meter. So by using the formula, you can calculate it. Another basic example which you are getting in your board examination is about the problems of meter scale. Here a uniform meter scale is given and it is balanced at 60 cm mark. That means if it is at 60 cm, then it remains straight. And we have used two weights, 5 gram force and 40 gram force, at 10 cm mark and 80 cm mark. Now you have to calculate the weight of the meter scale. Now whenever you are doing this, here we are going to use the principle of moments, and we have to calculate the total clockwise movement is equal to total anti-clockwise movement. Using it, if you apply the formula, movement in clockwise direction is coming to your 80 gram force, that means 40 into 20, whereas movement in the anti-clockwise direction is equal to W into 10, which I don't know the distance from the fulcrum, and then the plus 5 gram force into 50, where I have suspended the 5 gram force. So that is equal to 10 W plus 250 gram force. So applying the principle of movements, clockwise movement is equal to anti-clockwise movement, I can calculate the unknown one, which is coming to your 55. So in this case, it is important to do the numericals. Thank you so much for watching the video. We will be discussing about center of gravity and uniform circular motion in the next video. Hello dear students, I am Debashri Sahu from DePaul School, Baram.